So a former student of mine asked a question about parents who parent like their parents, and it's not actually the best way of parenting. What do you do? Well, here's a tiny little exercise. So what you do is you ask the person, or you can even do this yourself. So I want you to imagine a grandparent, okay? And I want you to imagine that moment when your grandparent was born. You can see your grandparent. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. We're born in wholeness. But think about the parents, if you know anything about that, of your grandparent. Think about historically, what time was it? What was known about parenting? What was society like at that moment in time? There was no internet. And I want you to notice when you see this baby, this grandparent of yours being a baby, and you look at it from a place of compassion and love, and you see your grandparent turning 1 and 2 and 3 and growing up, and see what parenting occurred. Now notice where your grandparent was broken and where your grandparent was whole. What was the parenting style? Right? And at some point, your grandparent is the age of your parent, right? And I want you to notice what age your grandparent was when your parent was born. What was going on? What was historically happening? What was there poverty? Was there war? Was there something else? What was known about parenting and good parenting at that moment in time? What was best parenting at that age, at that time? And you see your own parent being born, perfect, in wholeness, right? What time was it then? And then you watch your own parent becoming 1 and 2 and growing up to the moment that you were born. What was happening? What was the birth order, for instance? And also, you were whole. You were no longer born from whole parents, much like your parents weren't born from whole parents as well. Does that make sense? And so, what time was it then? Did the parenting of your parent move with ages? No. Did the parenting of your grandparents, did that move along with the ages in the latest science? No. So do you get at the moment that you were born, what age were your parents then? So what happens is, when you look at it this way, is that we're kind of like, because we're parented by our parents, we're always parented imperfectly. We're almost like parented a decade behind, or a generation behind, I should say. And to frame it to a client like that, is that parenting and what our parents taught us is based on a time without internet, based on what science knew, based on what was happening then. So good parenting is kind of going, well, I take all the great bits of parenting of my own parents, but what else is out there? And what else is out there is education. What is the latest science on parenting? What does NLP say? What does positive psychology say? What are the books about right now? Maybe even incorporate things like, well, what's the technology? What is a child? In what world is a child growing up? How specifically is it different? What tools are out there? What latest advances are out there? And then you can sort of like break the mold of the parenting that your own parent did, the parenting that your great-grandparents did, and bring it up to the whole new 2.0 level. And I think you frame it in that way, it will open up a discussion, not to put someone in a therapy office, but to open up the possibility for coaching, for training, for reading books and learning. And so that's it.